John, a point here in Swansea. How do you reflect on the game?
What a game to reflect on. I think excellent for 47 minutes, and I thought thoroughly deserved the lead. I thought we pressed really well. We looked really organised. We restricted Swansea to very, very little in the first half, and I was frustrated with the way that we conceded the goal. Not the cross or the fact that we didn't necessarily deal with that. Just the fact that we invited pressure. We'd done that really, really well for the majority of the first half. Not invited pressure. The second goal is a really good example of the fact that, look, we went a bit more direct, picked up the second ball, put it in the back of the net, and then just overplayed off the back of that. So that's the most disappointing thing. And then, rode our luck at times. Nico made a couple of brilliant saves in the second half and, come away with a point. I think on the balance of the game, slightly fortunate, but always disappointing to concede when you're 2 goals up.
Josh Murphy, an incredible first half display from him, especially making the first goal and scoring the second.
Really, really pleased with Josh coming into form at the right time. He got his goal against Hull, got his goal against Preston, a goal today, an assist today. That's what we brought him in the football club to do. Looked a real threat, and I think there's that building upon all the success he had at the back end of last season is something that's really important for us and for Josh. And the more we can do that, the better.
What effect did the timing of that their first goal have on the game, do you think?
I just think we're going at half time and it's a completely different game. We then give ourselves a bit more breathing room, and we can frustrate a lot more, and I think it just becomes a bit more of a difficult situation for Swansea. So I'm really frustrated with that first goal, and that was the probably the most disappointing part of the game for me.
What was the message at half time?
The message we had to deal with a couple of changes in terms of the way that they were playing, and it's difficult to deal with their system and the way that they play, and Grimes is a very good player. We wanted to try and deal with him a bit better and slightly change the way that we pressed. I think naturally in the second half, when you're leading away from home, you do drop in and you're under pressure. So the message was that we pressed very, very well, and we needed to make sure we took advantage of hopefully the freshness in the second half. I think it probably worked the opposite way. I thought we looked fresh in the first half, and then as the game wore on, the fact that we hadn't played in 3 weeks probably started to show.
You mentioned it earlier, but Nico with an outrageous save at 2-2 to keep us in the game.
Oh no, yeah, brilliant save. We need that. We're going to need that at times this season. When there's a barrage of chances going Swansea's way, and Nico pulled that save out. It was a brilliant save in real time. I haven't watched it back yet. I'm sure it will look even better when I do.
Is there a sense of frustration knowing we could have nicked it at the end with Chris's chance?
Yeah, I mean that's what we need to probably be a bit more clinical in those moments. But you saw with some of the chances that Swansea missed, that happens, right? You don't put every chance away. We've probably got to create a bit more for our forward players, and if we come away winning the game, probably slightly fortunate, but we'll take the point and move on.
Do you think it's a matter of fine margins today?
I think I do think the game changes with Swansea scoring the goal just before half time. I think it makes it a lot more frustrating for them. It gives the crowd a lift, gives the players a bit of a boost going into it, and that was a really, really fine margin that I didn't think we needed to concede at all. I just didn't think Swansea caused us any problems in the first half, and ensure how the second half panned out was very different.
First game in 20 days, you mentioned it earlier, but how do you think the lads performed sort of with that in mind?
I thought that for the first 45 minutes, we performed really well. We looked fresh, we looked sharp, we looked like we had the legs to go and compete. And I honestly think it flipped in the second half. And we were always wary of that. We were wary of the danger of not playing for so long. You lose that match sharpness, particularly on Wednesday night, because we'd gone so close to actually kicking off. We'd warmed up 2 or 3 times and then we weren't able to actually kick off. I think the emotion of it, everybody getting ready, all the preparation everyone does, I think that definitely took its toll as the game went on, and we just didn't look as sharp as we had done in the first half as the game wore on. And I do put that down to the long break in playing.
Marco Mane came off the bench but subbed back off shortly after. Looked like he took a bit of a knock or a whack.
Yeah, I think it was a hip injury. I didn't really have time to ask him what it was, but he was carrying that. You could clearly see it wasn't comfortable, so we'll see how that settles down.
And just finally, I mean, great to get back out there on the pitch and great to be able to play in front of our supporters again. Yeah,
amazing. I think to be able to send them home with a point is really positive. I'm guessing that 95% of the travelling fans were up at Blackburn waiting for a game. I'm pretty sure 100% of them were at Fratton Park on Wednesday night waiting for a game, which didn't happen. So I think they've seen a really good game of football today. I think they've seen their side give absolutely everything, which is with the bare minimum. We can be better in loads of situations, but I think that's reflected in the response that we get from the fans, and it's brilliant for us to have them with us to this extent when we are pushing as hard as we are to pick up as many points as we can.
Like you said, we can take a point back to Portsmouth. How good is that to sort of build on for now?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to, have to take a lot of positives from large parts of the performance. We can build on that going into, I think, 2 home games next week. We've got Bristol City and Norwich, I think. So yeah, there's plenty of positivity. The most important thing for us is to build on the home form that. When beating Preston, so beating Preston, we've got to go back to Fratton Park. We were looking forward to playing Millwall there, obviously, but we've now got Bristol City. We've then got Norwich. We've got to take that momentum of having a couple of games unbeaten. I think the last 4 games, I think we've performed really well for large parts, and we've got to keep going on that.